Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel and to another video. I hope you're all doing really well. In today's video I'm going to be responding to a comment that I received probably about a month ago now on my channel. And I don't know if you know, but when you set up a YouTube channel you can choose what comments you want to receive, and you can put certain words that won't come through on comments, and you can block certain things. So I have some filters set up really just for sweary words and stuff like that, but this comment still managed to get through with a sweary word. So I'm going to show you the comment and I'm going to show you the video that the comment was made about. So this is my home screen and this is the video that it was about. So it's the engrave a dog tag with your Cricut, engraving with your Cricut and how to engrave dog tags easily, including design, placement, etc. So as you can see from the thumbnail of the video, it's using the dog bone blank, which I actually really like, and I bought because I just like them. And they've got a little enamel paw print on the corner, which I thought was pretty cute. Let me just skip my own ad. So those are them. As you can see, they've got the little enamel paw print on it, and these ones were made for my mum's dog's amazing lady, and I just really like them. So let's move down the page to where the comments are. So this lady has said, and I'm going to paraphrase, for flip's sake, why can't anyone do this with a circular tag? Why does it have to be the ugly goddamn dog bone? I can't find anyone who can recommend a circular dog tag that will work with a Cricut engraving tool. Well, search no more, I am that someone. I'm going to do it for you today. So I've bought these online. They are from Amazon. You get 5 in a pack. I think I paid $7.99 for the 5. You get these funky little fastenings with them as well, because you need to be able to put them onto your dog's collar. And we're going to try it today. We're going to engrave this dog tag and we're going to see if it works. I can't say why it wouldn't, because I've done lots of different blanks that I've bought from Amazon with the engraving tool. It is tip number 41. If you haven't got it, you can pick it up on Amazon. They're normally pretty cheap just for the tip on its own. If you've got a quick swap housing already, you can just buy the tip. If you haven't got a quick swap housing, which looks like this, you can also pick up the set that's got usually a tip and a housing on it, and they're a little bit more expensive, but I think most people that are using a Cricut have probably got a quick swap housing. So without any further ado, let's jump into the video and see if we can rectify the upset that was caused by the dog bone. Let's jump into the video and get started. So these are the tags that I've got then. They are round and exactly what I think we're looking for. So they come with these little attachments on them, so you can put these on if you want to, but obviously because I'm going to be putting them onto the dog's collar, I'm probably going to use a jump ring. So these are just stainless steel. They are off Amazon, and I will of course link that down below for you. So they're super shiny. Let's see if it works engraving with the Cricut. Let's jump into Design Space and get started. Here we are then in Cricut Design Space with a brand new blank canvas ready for our dog tag design. So what I'm going to do then is go first of all over to the shapes menu, and I'm going to get myself the shape that represents the dog tag that I'm using the best. So of course this one is a circle. I'm going to click on the circle there. If you are using a different shape, try to pick the shape that is representative of your tag. If you can't find one, then for instance if you were using that controversial dog bone, you could choose this rectangle shape and you could make it the width of the dog bone, and then you'll just have to be a little bit more careful with your placement. I will pop that video that I did with the controversial dog bone in it down below and up in the corner for you now, so you can check that out if you haven't seen it. But I would suggest the rectangle was probably the best one for you if you are not using this round one. So let's just collapse that a second. What we want to do then is grab our text. What am I going to put on this dog tag? It's for Max, so I'm going to put Max on it. Am I going to put Max on it? What am I going to put on this dog tag? I'm going to put I am chipped on one side, and then the other side is going to have his phone number on, but I will do that side off screen because obviously I don't want to be giving out personal information. So this is our text that we're going to use on the one side. What I'm going to do is change the colour of my dog tag to be this pale silver, so then I can see exactly what I'm doing. Next, what I'm going to do is change this font. So we're going to come up to the top to the font box, and I'm going to leave it on the Cricut fonts, I think, at the moment. I'm going to come over here to these two little sliding bars. Let's click on there, and then it gives me some different things that I can choose, like filters. I'm going to choose writing fonts, and that will change that slightly. Now what we need to do is get a good font that is going to be quite easy to read, because you know what dogs are like. If they're moving around and jiffling around, you want to be able to see what's on their tag if they're in a trouble. So I quite like this Fall and Flare. I wonder if that will work. Let's check it out. I mean, that looks pretty good to me, and it's capitals as well, which is quite good. So I think I'm going to put my chipped onto the second line. I want to make sure that I've got my circle in the right spot as well for the hole, so I don't want to be going over that. So what I'm going to do is just make another circle and make it small. Then I'm going to select both of those, and I'm going to come up to the top, and I'm going to click on center horizontally. Now I'm going to just group those two together, because now I know that's where the hole is going to be. It's quite rough, but it is going to work. So then what I'm going to do is get my text, and I want to fit it onto here. So as you can see, the text is behind there at the moment, so we want to bring that to the front so that we can see it. So there's two ways of doing it. You can select it, and you can come up to the top to where it says arrange, and you can click on bring to front. Or if you've got it just on the screen, you can right click, and again you can click on bring to front. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got that on there now. I'm going to shrink it down, and I'm going to make it as big as I can on there. I'm going to just make this bigger. Now you may be wondering, why have I not sized that circle to be the size that I want it to be when it engraves? And the reason that I have done that mainly is so that I can just shrink it down when I'm happy with the way my design looks, rather than shrinking it down and working on a small template on the screen. It will make it quite difficult if you're going to do that. So I'm going to just pop that on there. Okay, I am happy with how that looks. I can now select everything again, and like I did with the top whole circle, I can come up to the top, click on arrange, and I can click on center horizontally. I could click on center. If I were to do that, it may move it up a touch, but it moved it down in this instance, so that it looks absolutely fabulous to me. The next little tip I'm going to offer you is I am going to click on my I am chipped, and I'm going to come up here to duplicate, and I've got two on there now. What I'm going to do is pop that over there as closely as I can to it, but obviously it's not going to be perfect. So what I'm going to do is come over to the layers panel. I'm going to click shift, and I'm going to select both of those I am chipped. Then I'm going to click on align, and I'm going to click on center. Now they are both placed perfectly on top of one another. I can click on attach here. Now those two layers are attached together. So now that means my Cricut is going to do two passes over the wording and hopefully give a little bit of a deeper engrave than what it would do normally. Now of course I do realise that I could just change my settings, or I could hit go again, but this is just a time-saving way of doing it. It's going to happen automatically now, rather than me having to go back to my machine and check everything. The last thing I'm going to do then before we resize is just come to where it says I am chipped. I'm going to select that, and I need to make sure that my Cricut knows that I wish to engrave rather than draw, because at the moment my operation type for this is set at pen. So I want to change that to engrave. So I'm just going to select the I am chipped. It is selected over here, it's all green. Come up to operation type, and then I'm going to just select engrave there. I just want to double check that it changes both of them, and it has. So we're happy with that placement and everything now. Next thing to do then is size everything down. So we're just going to drag over everything that we've got on our design, and we are going to resize. Now these dog tags are 2.5 centimeters across, so we want to just come up here to the sizing, and we are not going to unlock the padlock because it will resize both sections automatically. I've just put 2.5 into there and I'm just going to hit enter. And now that's made that super small. If I zoom in on it, you'll be able to see it just there, and it looks fantastic. I'm happy with how this looks. So what I'm going to do now then is go over to my Cricut and I'm going to get everything set up ready to engrave this dog tag. Now that we've got our sizing all set up and we are ready to get this engraved, what we want to do is go through to make. I'm not going to save it on this occasion. Here is our I am chipped, and here is our other templates. Now we don't need to worry about those at all because we're not going to use them. So what I'm going to do firstly is come down here and I'm going to move my I am chipped right into the center of my mat. So I want to make sure I've got it on the 15 centimeter line on both axes. If I zoom in a touch, you'll be able to see this is the 15 centimeter line. So what I want to make sure is that my I am chipped has got that space between the two lines is there, and then I think probably that's going to be roughly the center there, because chipped obviously has not got an equal amount of letters. So we've got 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. I mean, maybe move it over another little bit, but that looks pretty good to me. Now what we need to do is head over to the desk and get that set up on there with the dog tag in the same place to make sure that the engraving is going to come out absolutely perfectly. Here's my mat that I'm going to be using then. It's a strong grip mat. It's really quite new. It's probably been used 2 or 3 times. So let's just take that protective cover off there and just pop that to one side. And you can see on this mat that there is a crosshair, which also shows the dead center of the mat, and that is where we are going to line up our dog tag to make sure that it matches with what we're looking at on our screen. I've just popped that up on the screen then now so that you can see the reference that we're looking at compared to on the mat here in front of us. So this is the center, as is the center on the screen. So I've got my little dog tag. What I'm going to do is pop that onto there. And I want to make sure that I've got the line of that line there going straight through the middle of that hole. So you should be able to see now that the center of that hole has got that line running straight through it there. Next, what I'm going to do is just grab a ruler. So I need to find my halfway point, which is 1.25 centimeters. So I just want to make a little adjustment to that, I think, and move it up ever so slightly. All right. That's about right, I think. I'm happy with the way that looks. Next thing to do then is to get some tape. I am using some 3M masking tape. This stuff is super strong and it's going to hold my dog tag in place really, really well. I will link this below for you again because this is the only tape that I would use for securing anything down for engraving. So I'm just going to put it across like that so that the whole center of my design is free and ready to be engraved. Let's head over to the machine and get the tip in that we need and get started. Here we are then at my machine. So this is what we're going to be using for engraving. It is the engraving tip and it is number 41. Can you see that on there? This is already in a quick swap housing, and the quick swap housings are brilliant because what you can do is just press this little button on the top and the tip comes out. That means that you can use any of the other quick swap tips that are available for the Cricut Maker. This goes into clamp B, so I'm going to show you now how to do that. Okay, so what we're going to do is open clamp B and then take out whatever blade you've got in there. Mine is my fine point blade, and then I just pop them at the top there. And what you're going to want to do is just pop in your quick swap housing and it will just rest on the 2 top brackets of clamp B. Close that one and then press that clamp shut. That is now ready to go. Next thing we want to do then is go back to the computer and just set up our settings ready to engrave. We're ready then now to make sure that we get the correct settings to engrave. So if we go through to continue, the computer is going to find my machine. I do use several machines, so it might take a couple of seconds for it to find them. I'm going to click on the drop down and choose my maker with the USB connection. Now it's found my machine, it's time to set up my material settings, and as you can see, because we are using a different type of operation for this project, the bookmarks that I regularly use are not available for this. The only one that is glitter cardstock. Now that's interesting to me because I've never engraved on it, but I might try that in the future just to see how it turns out. So what we need to do is click on the Browse All Materials option here, and then we're going to get all of the materials that are available for engraving. Now there's not a huge amount of them, as you can see. Now we are using aluminium, so let's see if we can find that on here. So we've got aluminium sheet, anodized aluminium. It's not anodized, but it would probably work the same. Then we've got stainless steel, so I think that's the one I'm going to choose today. I'll just click on it and then get the little green tick there so I know that's selected. Let's click on done. Next, it's going to tell us about putting in our tools and materials. So we've got our materials already set up on the mat, and it's telling us to put in the number 41 tip into clamp B. Now we've already done that as well. So what we can do is go ahead and load the mat into the machine and press go. Before we load the mat into the machine, you just need to make sure that your star wheels are moved out of the way because we don't want them to roll over our material. So the star wheels just push to either side, and I've got one this side and my other 3 are this side. I'm just going to put my mat in using the guides on the side of my machine and press the insert mat button, and then I'm just going to press go and let the machine do its magic. So that probably took about 90 seconds, and as you can see, the engraving is complete. It looks fab. I haven't ejected the mat because if your engraving wasn't exactly what you were looking for, you could always press the go button again and get it to go over the top of your design again. But I'm quite happy with this. It looks quite good. Let's get this mat out and have a little look at it closer up. Here is the finished article then. It's turned out brilliantly. I think the Cricut has done an absolutely fantastic job of engraving onto this blank. I'm pleased with how it's turned out. Do I like it more than the controversial dog bone? Not too sure. Quite like that shape personally, but I do hope that Nicole Pauline F2Y is happy that I've used this particular blank now, and that she will see this video and she will see that I've used a round dog tag and I've done it on the Cricut so we know it works, and that maybe she'll even buy these dog tags through the link that I put down below underneath the description. So if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, drop me any questions, comments that you've got down below, and I will always try to reply to you as soon as I can. I will see you soon for another video. See you later. Bye.